Thank you. Welcome to this section on script writing, and I'm specially making this video for some of my students that I taught script writing online, and then we have few of them that did not actually get the structural aspect of script writing. So I'm making this particular video as a means of putting it more explanatory towards them about script writing. So if you are seeing this video for the first time, I will urge you to subscribe to this YouTube channel for further videos, because I am actually going to be making full video on script writing. I will teach basically fully on basics of script writing. I'm going to be teaching the master set of script writing. I will teach about how you can write stories and how you can build your stories to special level. And then people have been enjoying this class online. Most especially have been making use of WhatsApp, and people have got trained from different states in Nigeria. So this particular video is specially to them, and I will also urge you again, please don't forget, please do that, subscribe to this channel, click the notification button so that you'll be notified when we upload the next video. So now, when we talk about everything in script writing, it just remains one thing now. After you have done all the necessary work, what remains is writing the script. So, and this is the part which I want to share about, because of the issues that these students are because of the inability to get what it's all about. So there is why I will talk about the elements of script writing. So element of script writing is what I'm going to be talking about now, and this is what I want you to know. Creativity. What you have think about concerning your story, what you have pictured, the imagery, the idea, the lines, the flow, the dialogues, everything that you have think about, either you have think about it in a prose form or in a play form, they are in your heart. You have them in your heart. Now you want to put it out down on paper. The way you want people to see it on screen, you want to put it on paper, and that is the aspect of screenplay, and it has format, and that's why I want to share about this one now briefly. And I won't mind to share it again, even if I see people that will not get this, and I believe this one you will get it. So element of script writing, I have this scene heading, I have the action, I have the character name, dialogue, parenthetical, extensions, transition, shots. Okay, now in this element of script writing, sometimes I have seen the aspect of fade in, fade out, and some other few ones, but these are the major ones that I expect that a professional script should have, without you disturbing yourself or giving you a lot of issues. Now, heading can also be referred to as slug line. That's where I'm starting from. So let's say, for an example, I have a story idea. Maybe I just want to think about, there is a boy that is feeling hungry, and he wants to eat, and he couldn't solve the solution of eating very easy, and he thought of, okay, we use present continuous tense in script writing, don't forget that. So the boy thinks of going there to steal, and when he makes the attempt to steal, he lost his nemesis. So there was something very tragic that happened to him. Somebody came, they beat him, do this and that. Later they find out that he belongs to one of the renowned personality, but who has neglected him because of his kind of nature. Maybe the boy is disabled or so or that. Now, this particular few story now, this is why I just plot now. You know, I have not developed it fully, because if I want to develop this particular one, there are a lot of things, a lot of story structure that should come into it, a lot of steps of script writing that should come into it, a lot of story development things that should come into it. But I just want to tell you how to write the script actually. So now, this is my script, this is my info, for an example. And then the first one to do is the scene heading, that is the slug line. So the slug line in a script is that one that make a description mostly of the location of your script. Now, the slug line, let me just put it as a practical. Let's say this is my script now. The slug line is talking about the location of your script, of this idea. What's the location of this idea, and when is this thing happening? So that's why the slug line now will be the aspect of maybe it is exterior or interior, maybe it is happening in a market or in a particular area, and also when exactly. So you have to define when it is happening, exactly where it is happening, and when. So you have to look at where in this particular headline, and you look at where, exactly where, and when. So now I want to structure my script. This is scene 1. And note, we used to use act 1, scene 1. I will explain about act. How we drive at because we have 3 acts in story writing. We have the act 1, act 2, act 3. But majorly professional scripts now, they don't use act again in the script writing. But either you use it or not, does not have any much effects like that. But if your script writing, if your script is not having treatment and sequences, I will advise you should add acts to it. But not to have a rough something, just use scene. Just use scenes. Now, scene 1 is this story I've plotted now. I want to put it on paper the way I want people to see it on screen. I have narrated it to you, and you have a picture of it before. And you have a picture of it now. So this picture that you have, that I also have, that I have spoken to you, I want to put it on paper, the screenplay, so much that I can give it to people, or I can produce it as a film. So the first thing I'm going to do is that, where is this thing happening? Where exactly and when? That is headline, slug line, and that is exterior. It is happening in the market house, that is exterior. And where exactly in the market? So where is exterior? It's not interior. So where exactly is in the market? And when is day? Now, they used to use day, night, morning, evening, all those options that are there. But I used to advise people that instead of using morning, evening, and afternoon, you can either use day or night. Because there are some, like, we have a film we have produced, that's Wuri Funfun Paradox. That film, there's a particular scene that we just want to shoot it in darkness. We want to show somebody that is embodied and the person. So instead of using midnight or night, we use very early in the morning before the day breaks. So some people will write afternoon, and they will be running after the time. Yeah, we must shoot this thing in the afternoon. But actually, what you program to shoot in the morning, you can shoot it in the evening. What you program to shoot in the evening, you can shoot it in the morning. So instead of writing morning, afternoon, and evening, you are the one that know what you need. You are the one that know how to work with the atmosphere. Just put day. So now, this story I've narrated to you, I've explained to you now that it is happening in the market, and it is exterior, and it's going to happen in the day. So either it is afternoon, either in the evening. The only time I would do is that if there are any dialogues or any caption in the film that will show that it's either afternoon, morning, there must be a way to go about that when it comes to the technicality of filmmaking. So that's that about headline. You know, I've written my scene and I've narrated where those things is happening. That's my headline. Now, what's next in the film, in the story that I want people to know? I told you that the boy is feeling hungry and he decides to go and steal. Now, I put it in the description, action description, or descriptive action. So I'm going to put it there. What happened? The short narrative of the script, like a boy decides to steal because of hunger, and he meets with his nemesis, and he is beaten for such act. So you must understand the flow of that. So you describe the action and its flow. Now you can have 2 stages of action description. One, you describe the full script, very short, maybe 2 or 3 lines, And the next one is the description you give to each actors when you are writing dialogues. So after that, I have narrate what I want to write in the script in another stage. So what follows thereafter is what I refer to as character name. Now, there are ways just like you want to write a letter, formal letter, informal letter. There are places to place each and everything that pertains in formal writing, letter writing. So same thing to script writing. So there are places you have to put some of these elements that will make your script look good and wonderful. And every writer has opinions to different professional structure which the script writing should be. But according to me, I just have two structures that I so much love the more, and then I used to advise people to choose any of the two. So now the next one that remains is the character name. So the character name, according to the story I've just shared now, I said a boy. Now, a boy is talking about a gender. I did not mention the name of the boy. So you can use the actual character name, that is Tunde or Lawrence. You can use the description of the character, how the character looks like. You can say fat boy. You can use the occupation of the character and you say student. You understand? So, but just note that whichever character name you use to qualify each character in the script, it must continue like that. You must not write Tunde here and use fat boy in another place. In fact, there are some script writing app that if you are changing like that, it will be bringing error. So the next thing now is character name. So when you write your character name also, it must stand on a line. And in the middle of your script, there must be an indent inches here, an indent inches here. So it will be stationed because your paper should need. Actors should carry your script and fall, and even if they have not read anything that is inside, they should fall in love with the way your script looks like the beauty. They should find it easy to get what you have put down, even if they don't know actually what you have put there is correct or not. So it is a structure, just like good handwriting. There are some children that are brilliant, but they don't have good handwriting. So when you have a good story and you have bad structure on the paper, and people they get tired easily. So after writing the character name, you now go to descriptive action for the character. Maybe the boy now, I begin to imagine, okay, this boy is feeling angry. What kind of action do I want to give to him? Maybe he's rubbing his hand in his stomach. Now I just put it there. Lawrence, let me start her name. Lawrence. In the action will not be in parentheses. Parentheses is also an element in script writing. I'll put it in parenthetical. That is, they used to call it brackets. Open bracket, close bracket. So I will write it there. Tunde rubs his hand on the stomach. So that is, I give him an action. I describe to him what his action should be. So whichever kind of action I imagine in my head, whichever way I think he should act in my head, I'll put it in paper in a short form, because actors too should be creative to know how to interpret with their character. It's always short, it's always brief and straightforward. Then the dialogues comes in, and I tell you, I've shared with my students in the class how that every aspect, every element in the script writing need a special lesson. And because I'm taking my time to teach all of them how to work, dialogues has a special time. That when you are done with your script, you want to sit down with the dialogue alone, so much that you want to build up the professional dialogue. I was explaining to somebody recently. I said, let me teach you one of the way dialogues. Like for an example now, somebody is going to how can I put it? Maybe somebody gives birth. Somebody gives birth to a baby boy, and the dialogue just use it in the form of she has put to bed, she gives birth. There are different ways you can put that dialogue that will mean different meaning. But according to the film, the story, and the kind of message you want to pass to to the people. There is a special dialogue for that story that we educate, that we entertain, and that we impact people that. So there are professional dialogues. Your film should not look just like, it should educate. People should see the dialogue, that they should see sadness in those words that are playing. So now the next thing is dialogue. Now when you want to write the character name, you don't write the dialogue at the front or the parenthetical at the front. You write the parenthetical at the bottom of the paper, and also just like when you write the name here, the parenthetical follows or dialogue follows. There's not any of the two that is coming first. It is under. You don't write them at the front. It is coming under. And when you have constructively and educationally put your dialogue into place, we will flow to what we refer to as extension. Now, extension means the character said this dialogue, but we need it in a special way. For an example, OS, that is off screen. So the actor is still in the scene, but not visible at the moment. So the cinematographer also called that one off shot. So the actor is not in the scene, but we are hearing his voice. So now, when you put OS on your script, you think about that, but it has to come on your script like what I said. So now, when the people that are working with your script see that OS, they know that okay, this means that this actor, we just need his voice. That's extension. We used to have voiceover. We used to have different of that. And the next one I would like to talk about is transition. Transition, we used to have many transitions, but the common ones is cut to, dissolve to, smart cut, quick cut, fade to, fade out. But the aspect of this transition, I used to tell people that there are some creativity that cinematographers have to put in place too, and the editors. So if you don't specially need dissolve to, cut out, something like fade out, exactly fade out, fade in, fade to. If you don't need this specially, there's a skill that we produce recently, Dangerous Zone. We naturally need dissolve to. We need it. We need some part to be dissolved in the story. So we have to put it there. But if you don't actually need it, it's not important that your script have fade in, fade out, because there are many technical ways of doing this thing this time. There are many technical ways you can do it. Some of that your editors can be creative. Even you as a producer, when you are viewing the work, the output of that film, you can say, okay, let this side be like this. So it's the editor that knows the aspect to operate on the kind of app software that is using to make that thing come out effectively. But I used to tell people, even when it comes to the kind of shots, maybe angle, extreme close-up, pan there, pan there, you should not disturb yourself with those things. But if you need it specially, there is another of what we call cut out. So all those things, if you need it specially, don't say cinematographer. In fact, there are some film productions that exactly they will be stressed out so much that they will not pick the cut out. But if you specially need that cut out, that is very significant in your script, put it there. But a good cinematographer with a director that is very sound should not forget some shots. Anyways, but when it is special, don't forget that. Put it down. So that's how you are going to structure your script writing, and then you have something that is very sound. Let me show you a short format of how a script can look like. The self fading means that when the film wants to open, it's going to open like this, and the film will begin. But you can leave that for the editor if you don't need, if it's not special. It's not. In fact, your film will look boring if it is everything is fading, fade out, fading, fade out. Every scene should come in with significance with the story. That's why some stories are dull. Because you don't know that after you have done a very good work with script, some other part or personnel that have to work on your story must also have skills put in place. The light tells story. In fact, editors, sound tells stories. So now let editor and producer or the director view your film. You know, everything has to be fade in, fade out. So it's not important you add it. Just start from scene 1 and go to your headline, where it happens, where exactly, and when. Here they write interior, Edda Davis house, and day. So that means interior is going to happen interior. So when they say Edda Davis house, that means it happens inside the house of Edda Davis. So now, inside the house of Edda Davis, either it is room, you can say Edda Davis room or Edda Davis sitting room if it is specially needed. But if it is not specially needed, just like Edda Davis house, we know that it is inside Edda Davis. It may not be the room or the sitting room. So you choose any place that is sweet for your story. And so another one is when, that is day. When you say day now, it may be in the morning, it may be in the afternoon, it may be in the evening before the day close. And later on, what we have is what we refer to as either the dialogue or parenthetic. I have talked about the parenthetic. That is a description you give to actors. Just like when it is okay, T-Paul, that's the name. Let's say that's the character name, T-Paul, and you just say scrubs his head and shout. So now you put it in the bracket, parenthetic. Scrub his head. Save me! That's the dialogue. So you have to put them as they follow themselves. And this kind of structure now, this structure that you are seeing, that I have here, is a structure that is put like this, so much that it makes the paper to be very neat, and the circumference of your eyes to capture it at once. So there are some structure that they will bring the scene closer to the left part of the paper, like they will put the scene closer to this left part. They will also put the headline to be straight under, and the character name and dialogues will come in the middle. But me, I don't like disturbing myself. Let everything be what my face can capture at once. So I will just put everything will be come down in the middle, and then I have a good space for it. And your script writing now, they used to use Courier for it. I will talk about that one, the kind of fonts you can use, the kind of size, letter size, and so on. So this should be well explanatory for some of us that have trained on script writing, but we are still finding it difficult to put it down. So I love some stories that some of them have developed, but now I want to put it in Screenplay. So I would like to come back on this video later. And when we start our class here in Tag Films and with Salas in their creativity, I'm going to do a full video from the basic class to the master class on script writing. And you can go and see some of our films, Paradox, Anyway Within, Because Director 1, and so on. They are wonderful films that you can actually give kudos to, and they are low budget films. So you can be part of what we do as well. You can partner with us and so on. Thanks, and I appreciate you. Subscribe to this YouTube channel because you will enjoy and you will love that. You do that. Kudos to Salas in their creativity, and also my other crew members. I'm the White Awopod, the president of the Arm of God Dramatic Ministry. Thank you.